Well, thankfully, some of the barriers for deaf children are now being eradicated. Very often it used to be that perhaps teachers and institutions felt that if a child is deaf, therefore they cannot hear, and music does not belong to them. But of course, deafness is a very complicated subject, and as long as kids feel sound through the body, so using their body as a resonating chamber, they will resonate to sound, they will connect with sound. So they have every right to participate in music as any other youngster. And I think that, you know, the domino effect in the communication between the medical profession and also schools for the deaf, families of deaf children and so on, is becoming much more clear, really, and realising that deafness is, you know, quite a complicated subject. So many people, young and old, can really relate to the emotional aspect of music making, so they have a right to participate as well as be passive listeners. It's very important for deaf children and their families and the educational environment to expose the kids to as many musical opportunities as possible. And by that I mean going to performances, going to different types of performances of different types of music, but also, you know, letting them explore instruments. Basically, you know, deaf children will respond to all instruments, but just like any other individual, some people lean towards a bassoon, and well, why does an individual lean towards a bassoon? What makes them choose a bassoon or a flute or percussion or anything else? So it's just that chemistry. So in a way, I feel that there's an inclination to always focus on the deafness, and that is the main tag that we give them. Well, no, it's Johnny or Beryl or Betty or whatever. You know, what is it that they want to get out of an instrument? What is the sound world that they can respond to? So really opening up the possibilities for them to be really right beside these instruments and have time to explore those instruments is really, really crucial. And it's wonderful when kids can go and have that chance to be with a professional orchestra and sit in the orchestra, because that's quite a different experience than being out in the auditorium. It really is. And indeed any other type of music, whether it's a folk group or anything else, a samba group, it's very different being right next to an instrument than being 10 feet away even. It's really important for all of us, no matter what profession you're in, to continue training, learning, being inspired, and sometimes we have to find those opportunities ourselves, and sometimes it comes from the most unlikely sources in a way. So I suppose every day we have an opportunity to open our minds up, if we choose to, and really look around, you know, and gain something that can influence what we do. So, you know, in my own case, whereby you spend a lot of time isolated, actually you're on your own, you're working on a piece of music, or you're thinking, you know, what your aims are for the future and so on. A lot of it is in isolation, but we always have to remember that success does not happen in isolation. So really knowing that we can reach out and connect with people is very important. And we've often got to you know, push ourselves and make that effort to go out and look for things that will really just inspire us again. We all need that, no matter what we do. So it's really important to share and connect, share the knowledge, just talk, communicate. For me, I find that when I go to percussion conventions, if I take part in webinars, even if I go to a concert, you know, and you're observing things in how other people do things, actually, not just on the stage, but, you know, gaining lots of ideas, lots of information that you feel, you know, some things are relevant to what you do. But it's often the things that you think are not relevant that become actually quite crucial, really. And it's just how you think about things, but it's having that time to digest the information and then give yourself a chance of trying something out. So, I find that it's often the situations where I may go to a workshop, a masterclass, a lecture demonstration that I think may not have much relevance to what I do, but lo and behold, it opens my eyes in some way or another. So even going to rehearsals, orchestral rehearsals, whether it's by amateur groups, whether it's by youth groups, whether it's by professional orchestras and ensembles and so on, there's always something there that you can learn by how something is conducted. So there are a lot of opportunities really for us all to make a difference in what we do and to grow in every way. Well, we all have the right to participate in music, and for those youngsters who are facing many different types of challenges, domestic challenges, financial challenges and so on, it's particularly important that they are given equal opportunities. It's very important that we connect with them and to experience the arts in general. Music is so powerful because, you don't have to become a professional musician. There's so many elements and layers of music, of that word, and it's just such a sharing experience. It can be as isolated as you want, or it can be as social as you want. And, for me, as a sound creator and seeing myself as that, I then feel I can connect with more people than if I say I'm a musician, strangely. People can sometimes be intimidated by that. But when we're exploring sound, and sound is everywhere, and when we can relate to that in the individual's particular environment, it becomes the sound story becomes much more personal to them. So it's hard to describe, but it's absolutely crucial that we involve them. And one of the projects that I'm doing at the moment is basically getting youngsters who are from busy cities, who are very, very challenged in all sorts of ways, and getting them to be in the environment that I was brought up in. The countryside, the open fields, nature, the different smells, just everything that is so different to what they've perhaps experienced. And therefore, what's the sound world of that environment? And in a way, they are finding the sounds in that situation, and we're going to bring their environment, my environment together and create a piece of music. And so everything has its place, really, and we have to respect each other's particular journey. So it's really crucial that we share as much as possible with our young people.